And joining me on the Newshour Spotlight today, to my right, Gaurav Varia, Major Gaurav Varia, thank you for coming for this show. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining me tonight on the show, Sushant, Sareen, Strategic Affairs expert. Also with the ORF, IPCS, Vidwan, Abhijit, Ayer, Mitra with us. On my left, Anand Ranganathan, everybody knows him and he has some bombshells to drop tonight as well. Vivek Silas, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and also joining me in the studios is Ashwini Kumar Mishra, leader of the Congress Party. The first question, and that is the most important question as we come to the interval of Operation Sindhoor. Can Pakistan be trusted, and can the ceasefire actually exist? Can it desist from attacking India? Yes, we have raised 9 terror dens and crushed 20% of Pakistan's Air Force infrastructure, but India is fighting an axis of evil which rises like Hydra heads every now and then. Within 3 hours of the agreement to hit the pause button, rogue Pakistan resumed its shelling. The history of Pakistan is peppered by betrayals and military coups. Can propped-up puppet Shahbaz Sharif rein in General Munir? That's our first question. Why has India put Pakistan on probation? And watch this.
भारत की ओर नजर उठाने का एक ही अंजाम होगा, तबाही।
वर्तमान सीज फायर में हमने पाकिस्तान को बिहेवियर के आधार पर अभी प्रोबेशन पर रखा हुआ है। यदि उसका बिहेवियर सुधरता है तब तो ठीक, और यदि बिहेवियर में फिर से गड़बड़ी आती है तो उसको कड़े से कड़ा दंड दिया जाएगा।
Major Gaurav Varia, let me ask you first. Yes. Do you think Pakistan can be taken at face value? We've gone in for the ceasefire, we put them on probation, but can we trust them to desist from once again doing the same tactics that they've done for 7 decades?
Thank you for having me on the show, Navika. First of all, Pakistan will do it very shortly. And when I say shortly, I think between right now and let's say the next 90 days, expect Pakistan to try something. It may be successful, it may fail, but Pakistan will try. That's number one. Number two is that about trusting Pakistan. You know, when you say that, can you trust Pakistan? Of course not. We have been foolish in the past. We have been foolish multiple times in the past 78 years in trusting Pakistan. Pakistan's entire foreign policy, its entire national security policy revolves around Kashmir. This is something that they cannot do without. It's their majburi, if you will. It's their majburi. And they will do it again. They will do it again, but, one thing that I'd like to tell you is that, this has been made plain by the Prime Minister and also the Raksha Mantri, and both of them, when you say ceasefire, what does it mean? It means stop firing. So in that context, is there a ceasefire? Yes, probably. But Operation Sindoor has not ended. You talk to anybody who holds any position of power, any position of authority, and they will tell you that this is an ongoing operation. There could be a strategic pause for right now, but India will hit back. India will hit back soon. We are just waiting. Like the Honorable Defense Minister said, Pakistan is on probation. They've been put on probation. And जब ऐसा होगा कि पाकिस्तान कुछ गलती करेगा, फिर से पाकिस्तान को सजा मिलेगी, punitive, disproportionate, visible.
But let me ask you, Sushant, Sareen, then why ceasefire when we had the upper hand? Many people ask that question, कि अभी you had advantage India. Why ceasefire when your neighbor is not trusted and when he is backed by forces in the world that will always increase its adventurism?
I think, Navika, it's very clear that I don't think anybody in the government of India was interested in an endless war. We don't want to get into an endless war because we have bigger fish to fry. We have many more things to do. We are not a basket case country like Pakistan, which doesn't bother about its own people, which only bothers about its armed forces and the privileges of the Punjabi elite to the detriment and to the exclusion of everybody else in Pakistan, or some other elites from, Sindh or KP or other places. So we are not in that game. The objective of Operation Sindhoor was a limited one. The limited one was a punitive campaign against terror targets to deliver a very, very strong message. And I think nobody can deny that an extremely strong message has been delivered. You've hit at bases which everybody salivated over in the Indian security establishment for decades. You've gone and destroyed them in Muridke, in Bahawalpur, in Kotli, in Muzaffarabad, all these places which were supposed to be untouchable. So I think that's a remarkable achievement. And after that, when the Pakistanis went up the escalation ladder, you also, that second objective was to have escalation dominance, which is again what the Indian armed forces established. And forced Pakistan to sue for peace. Now, the Pakistanis can keep making whatever cock and bull story they want to make, but the bottom line is that 11 of their bases, and some, by some accounts 13, ranging from Skardu in the north to Karachi in the south, have been hit. And these guys have they're shameless, but they have nowhere to hide. So they will try and deflect what has happened to them, but they will not come and accept the kind of beating they have been given. One more point, Navika. You know, when you keep asking, and I think in international relations, this whole question, can I trust somebody? You can't trust anybody. The only thing you can trust is your own power, which you can bring to bear on whether somebody is trying to act smart with you or not. What is your national power? What is your economic power? What is your military power? How much of it can you bring to bear on your adversaries? That's the only thing which you should trust.
Well, then Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, then I want to ask you, putting them on probation, is that the wisest call that could have been taken, given the fact from an advantage position, now whenever the next provocation comes, we will start from scale 0 and then work upwards? And how long do you think this is going to stay in this ceasefire condition?
There are two things. One is very clear that we cannot take Pakistan on the face value because there is no face. The face is explicitly clear, that is a perpetual perpetrator of terror. Only the masked value is there. Masks keep on changing, the face remains same. So that is very clearly and categorically understood by India. But if you see, those who were giving us the Gidar Bhabki of nuclear threat, now they are talking about aman ki baat. इसका मतलब चमन कुछ तो उजड़ा है तभी अमन की बात तक बात आई है. But what has happened, I think those who are sitting inside those operations will be having better access to what situation has happened. I just want to put certain dots which your viewers can connect. Number one, JD Vance on 9th says about the India-Pakistan conflict, this is none of our business. On 10th night, there is a furious attack on various air bases of Pakistan. On 10th, around 1 p.m., Pakistan's DGMO tries to contact India. On 3:35, both the DGMOs talk. Or at 4 p.m., Government of India announces that there is going to be a press conference at 5. And at 4:35 or 4:40, Donald Trump gives a tweet. And then there mentions a nuclear threat, that he has averted a nuclear conflict. So now, just if it is believed that Sargodha has been hit, and those who are, your viewers, I just want to say, nuclear weapons are not like it's been placed in the room like the shop. It is being placed 30, 40 feet at least, or several meters below the ground. And that has only 2 entry and exit points. If the entry and exit point are being hit, as there are certain news in the international media, so there is a strong possibility that something of disaster could have happened inside whenever those openings will be out. And in that case, you should also try to understand how far is Sargodha from the Indian border? 170 kilometers. Less than how far is Mathura from Delhi? So if anything of the sort of nuclear disaster or the atomic disaster happens, it's not that much easy that it will follow the international boundary, that it will come only up to that level and not go that. There can be a chance. And one more thing, since the US forces remained there around 2 decades back, so they might be knowing each and every location, that where the warhead is there and where the fuse is there.
Pata.
No, they might have personally, physically verified, and their satellites are definitely having much more capability than the Chinese satellites. So they might have confirmed it, or they might have assumed it. They might have something got the impression. And in this context, I would like to say that the day before yesterday, when the press conference of the State Department of US, it was asked that has US planes have gone there for the search, for verifying the radiation level on the nuclear site? What was their answer? They could have said no, nothing of this sort. What was his answer? I am not give to any answer on the preview of this situation. So it means they have neither said yes nor said no. So those who are having an in-depth understanding of the war, and that's why the Prime Minister has said the Operation Sindoor is not stopped. There is no word ceasefire used by India. It is operational break. जैसे आप लोग कमर्शियल ब्रेक लेते हैं, मिलते हैं ब्रेक के बाद, तो ऑपरेशनल ब्रेक के बाद जब सामना होगा, तो इसलिए जो एक प्रोबेशन की बात कही गई है वो उनके लिए कही गई है। और इसलिए आज रक्षा मंत्री जी ने इस फ्रेज को यूज भी किया है पाकिस्तान की आर्मी के लिए, क्योंकि वो जिस मुहाने पे बैठ के जो गेम खेल रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने कहा है कि कागज का है लिबास चिरागों का शहर है, कागज का है लिबास चिरागों का शहर है, चलना संभल संभल के चूंकि तुम नशे में हो।
बिल्कुल नशे में है और कागज को कभी भी आग लग सकती है। बट अभिजीत अय्यर मित्रा, द फैक्ट दैट वीव हिट, डॉक्टर सुधांशु त्रिवेदी इज कोटिंग रिपोर्ट्स, बट वी हैव इट फ्रॉम very, very top sources that somewhere close to the entrance and exit, we have hit them as far as their nuclear storage facilities are concerned. At the Noor Khan base, their command center.
In your program has also expressed the same thing.
Absolutely. John Spencer and Tom Cooper have both said that. So Abhijit Ayer Mitra, this probation is really a pause. Clearly, we are expecting, we are not lowering our guards. And how long are we going to continue in this situation of being in total preparedness, calling for some aman? Pakistan is calling for aman, and we are obliging them, because war clearly cannot be an objective for any country that has a desire to become the third largest economy in the world. But do you think this is going to be a long probation, or what's your bet on?
I don't think the word probation really describes this, because you're essentially dealing with a unreformable character. This is, like the Joker or the Penguin in Batman that believes in, that needs to be in the asylum for the criminally insane and the uncurable, essentially. Rather than this probation and all of that, I think this is more the grave biblical sin of coitus interruptus. But let's talk about the main thing out here. How long are we going to be? Why does it matter? We can be in this indefinitely. It does not cost us much to be in this state of readiness. It is something we can afford today very, very easily. Our reserves are something like $850 billion. Pakistan, on the other hand, remember, now take this as a not forward Operation Parakram. Take this as a different kind of Operation Parakram. In those days when we weren't so rich, in those days when Pakistan had the full support of America, we were still able to sustain it for a whole year or more. This time you can sustain it indefinitely. Pakistan cannot sustain it. They are not playing, the pyromaniac turned fire brigade in Afghanistan. They are not getting any help from the Americans or anybody. Their reserves are dwindling. Their money, like Sushant Sareen said, yaar jaake road mein bheek mang rahe hain. What do they have left right now? This is a very nice game to play. Grind them down, grind them down, grind them down. It is a lovely way of, destroying their reserves, seeing to it nobody does business with them, constant uncertainty about their airspace. You never know when it's going to boil up. And mark my words, I told you this on the 10th when the ceasefire was announced, sitting on the opposite side, Navika. At that time, I said it was most probable that Asim Munir is going to break the ceasefire. Today, because the narrative has turned so decisively against Pakistan, I guarantee you that man is going to break the ceasefire. This is how they function. It is their old playbook. When you don't talk, they generate a terror attack, so there's a crisis and somebody forces you onto the table, and they go back to their population and say, see, we brought India to the negotiating table, dusra Sikandar, dusra Julius Caesar, or whatever, dusra Napoleon, teesra Napoleon, whatever. When you when the talks go well, they will engineer an attack to stop the talks. They haven't changed their playbook. This is now sounding like a broken record. The thing is, that side is still playing a broken record. This side has long since moved on. Modi learns his lessons very well. He tried very hard in his first term. You remember in 2014, he invited Nawaz Sharif to his swearing in. He went for Nawaz Sharif's ka khandani shadi and all of that. When the attacks happened after Uri and things, all that contact stopped. After Pulwama, Balakot happened. This time, 21 times Balakot happened. Well, much more than 21 times Balakot following that. Next time, देखो और क्या होता है.
आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या. Well, Anand Ranganathan, and that's my problem. You may give Pakistan yet another opportunity. You may withdraw. You may just call it a temporary reprieve. But the fact is, who's running Pakistan is not known. It is Asim Munir one day, the DG of ISI one day. It can be, certainly not the political leadership, because the most popular leader, Imran Khan, is in jail. Shahbaz Sharif, जिनके पैर कांपते हैं और जिनके पूरी कैबिनेट के पैर कांपते हैं, वो खड़े हैं और वो कह रहे हैं अमन चाहिए. कल टैंक पे खड़े हुए थे, घास उग रही थी टैंक के ऊपर, बिकॉज दे हैव टू इमिटेट वट एवर इंडिया डज. सो सच अ बैड कॉपी ऑफ द प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स विजिट टू ऑल दोज एयर बेसेस. आई वांट टू आस्क यू, हु इज गोइंग टू टेक द कॉल? Asim Munir has his nose bloodied, completely dragged through the mud. He's going to hit back. I want to ask you, this new doctrine, the Operation Sindhoor doctrine that we are talking about, will it come? At what level is the question?
Thank you very much, Navika. पहले तो आपसे एक मैं थोड़ा सा वो करूं, I have a grouse to mention. ये कांग्रेस है, समाजवादी पार्टी, मतलब आपने क्या या AIMIM का समझ के मुझे यहाँ पर इनके साथ बिठा दिया. कोई बात नहीं,
कोई बात
नहीं, मतलब मैं तो वही कह रहा हूँ, भारतीय, लेकिन मतलब ओवैसी जी के आजकल काफ़ी गुण गाए जा रहे, तो हो सकता है आपने समझ लिया हो कि मैं वहाँ. बट देखिए, साइड कोई भी हो, लेकिन सब देश के साइड में, इसीलिए मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ आपके साथ. दो चीज़ें मैं कहना चाहूँगा. आपने स्टार्ट किया ये पूछ के कि शुड वी टेक पाकिस्तान एट इट्स फेस वैल्यू, and I say absolutely yes. What is Pakistan's face? Pakistan's face right now is a funeral of a terrorist is going on. Some mullah is, a terrorist is reciting prayers, and in the backdrop you see 10 high-ranking Pakistani military generals. That is the face of Pakistan. There is no difference between state and non-state actors anymore. And Prime Minister Modi has said this in no unequivocal terms. So Gaurav is absolutely right, Gaurav Ayer is absolutely right. They are going to come back at us. They're going to hit us. They might. But as far as your question is concerned, who is going to decide when, where to hit? It's no distinction at all between state and non-state. So it could be a terror outfit out there that will decide. It could be Munir. It could be the Prime Minister. There is absolutely no distinction. The thing that we need to not worry about, but be prepared about, is that are we ready? And 100% yes. And I might say, because of the three leashes that have sprung up after, in the wake of Operation Sindhoor, I think we are more than prepared. And these leashes are, of course, our attack and defense capabilities that have more than being tested spectacularly. The second is the new doctrine, as you said, post-Operation Sindhoor doctrine, that an act of terror is going to be equated with an act of war. But the most important, and I've been saying this since 2 days ago, I've written an article on this, is the Indus Waters Treaty. The fact that we have a tap to decide peace or war is, I would again reiterate, Prime Minister Modi's greatest achievement. And the fact that, because I read it in order to redraft it, I am just astonished as to what we have given away in the last 60 years. The heart bleeds. It's not just that, we gave away so much in 1948. We clamored to the UN for a ceasefire. It's not just that in 1965 we gave away, in 1971 we gave away 93,000 prisoners of war. It's not just that in the wake of our Pokhran blast, and I've just tweeted that, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi contacted Mr. Bhutto and said, we are willing to share our nuclear technology. These are the things that we've given away, God knows for what reasons, virtue signaling or trying to, take the higher moral stand, whatever it may be. Fact is, Pakistan has exploited us. Now, no more. Absolutely no more.
Absolutely, and the bleeding heart. I'm coming to you, but let me just play out the bottom line that was set up by the Prime Minister. No business as usual after India has struck inside Pakistan after Operation Sindoor. The theatre of war is no longer just the LOC. India will strike at a place and time of our choosing. Modi has dictated the new terms of engagement with zero tolerance on terror being the cornerstone. Interestingly, I spoke to war historian and combat airplay historian Tom Cooper, and he said, India doesn't want to be too aggressive, but Pakistan is a leopard that cannot change its spots. Let's listen in to Prime Minister Modi before I come to you.
भारत पर आतंकी हमला हुआ, हम अपने तरीके से, अपनी शर्तों पर, अपने समय पर जवाब देंगे.
It is clear to New Delhi, or should be clear, West is always going to blame India, whatever Pakistan does. So, from that point of view, it was wrong to go, striking just the terrorist camps. Indian Air Force should have hit at the Pakistani air defenses right from the start.
Just जीत का होना चाहिए, सीज का नहीं. और हमारे देश के लिए शांति सबसे सर्वोपरि है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ हमारे बहुत सारे मसलों में दूसरे देश इंटरफेयर न करें, वही हमारे संविधान और हमारे लोकतंत्र की सबसे बड़ी पहचान रही है.
Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, while we had the upper hand, we called for, or rather, Pakistan called for the ceasefire. We obliged them because war is not the agenda. Hitting the terror camps was our agenda. But are we simplifying our objectives? Because we hit their terror camps. We even made it very clear that we will do so. There was enough warning that was given. But the fact is that Pakistan changed the terms of engagement and started hitting our, or planning to hit our civilians, our temples, our gurudwaras, our nunneries. The fact is that even the domestic audience, and especially the political parties in the opposition, have seen this as some sort of pressured agreement for a ceasefire. How do you deal with this when India was clearly on the winning spot, had the upper hand?
There are two things to be understood in this. First, our target or objective was achieved on the very first day. That is the night of 6 and 7. Then when Pakistan tried to retaliate, it was given a very befitting and damaging reply on the night of 9th and 10th. So after that, one aspect I've already explained. There could have been a possibility of some sort of nuclear disaster in which we could not have been just left alone. Second thing, there has to be a proper strategy for long term. As Abhijit, Ayer, Mitra has also said, Sushant, Sareen has said, to grind the things up to a certain level, then go ahead. I give you one example. When Prime Minister Modi ji has called Nawaz Sharif in his swearing in 2014, and he went 2016. Why he has went? He was knowing that Pakistan is going to do this. We were making a premise of justification and projecting India as a mature nation, जो कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रहा है, उनको कोई मौका देने की कि एक बार फिर मौका है तो मान जाओ. जैसे अशोक वाटिका उजाड़ी थी हनुमान जी ने और लंका दहन किया था, तो हनुमान जी में ही क्षमता थी, पूरे लंका को निपटा के आ सकते थे. और ये मैं ऐसे नहीं बोल रहा हूं. रामचरितमानस में लिखा है कि जब वो सीता जी उनसे कहती हैं तो क्या जवाब देते हैं हनुमान जी, अभई मां तुम्हें जाई लेवाई, प्रभु आये सुनहि राम दोहाई. मैं अभी ले जा सकता हूं, मेरे अंदर सामर्थ्य है, पर इससे हमारे भगवान का और हमारे दल का यश नहीं बढ़ेगा. तो इसलिए फिर भेजा गया अंगद को, कहा गया अब ठीक है, ताकि हम भारत को शक्ति के साथ उनको वो भी करेंगे, उनको हैसियत पे भी ले जाएंगे और अपनी हैसियत भी दुनिया में ऊंची करके दिखाएंगे. इसलिए जो लोग इस मुगालते में हैं कि ये सीज फायर हो गया तो ये मंजिल आ गई, मंजिल नहीं है. ये हमारी बात का मील का पत्थर है। जैसे एग्जाम्पल के लिए इंडस ट्रीटी रोकी गई है तो पानी बहना रोका गया, तो मैं एक पंक्ति में कहना चाहूंगा, मोदी जी किस दृष्टि से सोचते हैं, किस दूरदृष्टि से। अब तो कम से कम देश को 10-11 साल में समझ में आना चाहिए कि उन्होंने कुछ किया है तो क्या सोची होगी। तो एक पंक्ति में कहना चाहूंगा कि दरिया का सारा नशा उतरता चला गया। भाई पानी उसमें कम हो रहा है ना, दरिया का सारा नशा उतरता चला गया, वो मुझको डुबाता रहा और मैं उभरता चला गया। अरे मंजिल समझ के बैठ गए जिस पे चंद लोग, पुरानी सरकारें होंगी जो मंजिल मान लेती थी, सीज फायर हो गया, मंजिल समझ के बैठ गए जिस पे चंद लोग, मैं ऐसे कितने ही रास्तों से गुजरता चला गया।
वेल विवेक साइलेंस जी, मानते तो हैं, डॉक्ट्रिन भी है, इरादा भी है, एंड ऑल दोज अमन की आशा टाइप्स आप लोग तो है ना। बात कर लीजिए आप लोग से, मेरा मतलब इंडिया अलायंस जो है या नहीं है, इस पर भी सवालिया निशान कल चिदम्बरम जी ने लगा दिया है। वेदर इट एग्जिस्ट, वेदर इट इज रिटायर्ड, हर्ट, और वेदर यू नो देयर इज एनी फ्यूचर फॉर इट, इट इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क। बट these are strategies that probably should be understood by the opposition. Why is the opposition doing, हिंदी में एक वर्ड होता है ओछी राजनीति, why is it doing this non-serious politics at a time when we are dealing with a country जिसके साथ आप लड़ चुके हैं, हम लड़ चुके हैं, मतलब सारी दुनिया ने देखा है कितनी वॉर्स हुई हैं, कभी कांग्रेस कभी बीजेपी, हर वक्त एक ही उनका लहजा रहा है कि उन्हें हिंदुस्तान को खत्म करना है। Yet somehow it's taking so long to convince the opposition. Why?
You know, the first question that was you taken in the debate was that can Pakistan be trusted? No, they cannot be trusted in any stretch of imagination. Secondly, Sudhanshu ji right now said there has to be a proper strategy. So what are we doing? We don't have a proper strategy. You mean to say that? And it was very incredible that what Mr. Gaurav Varia just said, that we have seen, Gaurav Varia said that we have seen foolish strategies in the past. We have won wars against Pakistan, be it in 1965, 71, even during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji's in 1999. And at that time also, India and Pakistan both were the nuclear powers. You also said, Navika ji, you asked the question to one of the panelists, Anand Raghunathan ji, who's running Pakistan? I am telling you, it is Donald Trump who is running Pakistan. He said India and Pakistan are two great nations.
Xi Jinping भूल गया, एर्दोगान भूल गया।
हाँ। अच्छा हुआ आपने शी जिनपिंग का नाम,
वो बार-बार,
सुधांशु जी प्लीज, अच्छा हुआ आपने शी जिनपिंग का नाम ले लिया। जब वॉर चल रही थी तब तो अडानी जी उनसे ट्रेड डील कर रहे थे, बिल्कुल कर रहे थे। अच्छा हुआ आपने याद दिला दिया, मैं तो भूल ही गया था। यहाँ पर युद्ध चल रहा था और वहां पर व्यापारिक सौदा हो रहा। दैट इज व्हाट डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प सेड कि हमने प्रेशर डाला और इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान दोनों एग्री कर गए सीज फायर के लिए। तो क्या आज सैंक्टिटी से बड़ा ट्रेड हो गया है सुधांशु जी? सीधी बात है।
डॉक्टर सुधांशु त्रिवेदी
कल तो स्टेटमेंट अपना चेंज कर दिया ना उन्होंने। ही हैज सेड नो नथिंग सॉर्ट ऑफ मीडिएशन। और वैसे एक बात बताऊं, जो आपने बोला ऑन द लाइटर नोट, बात की बात में पाकिस्तान के फॉरेन मिनिस्टर, डिफेंस मिनिस्टर, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, अल्लाह के फजलो करम से, अल्लाह के फजलो करम से पाकिस्तान नहीं चल रहा है, वो चीन और अमेरिका के रहमो करम से चल रहा है।
भाई तो मैं कह रहा हूं, पाकिस्तान तो भिखमंगा देश है, उसके पास खोने के लिए कुछ है तो नहीं। लेकिन आज डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प कह रहे हैं जीरो टैरिफ, उस पर आपका क्या स्टैंड है बताइए ना।
आप देखिए जो आपने बात कही,
नहीं जीरो टैरिफ की बात कर रहे हैं।
अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट के प्रति पूर्ण सम्मान रखते हुए कहना चाहूंगा, उन्होंने कहा ट्रेड। आप बता सकते हैं पाकिस्तान के साथ क्या ट्रेड है अमेरिका का? भीख मांगने वाले के साथ ट्रेड हो सकता है क्या? उन्हें कहना चाहिए
लेकिन खैरात ग्रेट नेशन क्यों कहा उनको? ग्रेट नेशन एंड ग्रेट लीडर। इंडिया और पाकिस्तान में तो व्हाई डोंट वी कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट? आप प्लीज यार मुझे बोलने दो। व्हाई डोंट वी कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प? अभी कंगना रनावत आपकी एमपी हैं, उन्होंने एक ट्वीट किया, उन्होंने बताया मोदी जी बड़े लीडर हैं, तीसरा टर्म है डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प का, दूसरा ट्रम्प है, दूसरा और क्या हुआ? अरे वो प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उसका उनको ट्वीट डिलीट करना पड़ा किसके कहने पे? जेपी नड्डा साहब के कहने पे। ये खौफ है डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प का कि आपकी सांसद मोदी जी को ट्रम्प से बड़ा लीडर बताएं और ट्वीट डिलीट करें और ये कहें कि
सर,
ये भी
अब अगर खौफ की बात है तो सुन लीजिए, नटवर सिंह अपनी किताब वन लाइफ इन नॉट एनफ पर लिख गए कि मुझे फॉरेन मिनिस्टर से इसलिए हटाया गया क्योंकि अमेरिका चाहता था। अब बताओ भाई, ये तो फॉरेन मिनिस्टर लिखा हुआ है मनमोहन सिंह की गवर्नमेंट का। अब दूसरा खौफ समझ लीजिए। अब सुनिए, बकौल विकीलीक्स, मैं नहीं कहता कि विकीलीक्स में जो लिखा है वो सच है। राहुल गांधी जाके अमेरिका के डिप्टी चीफ ऑफ मिशन से कहते हैं कि हिंदू आतंकवाद ज्यादा बड़ा खतरा है। बकौल विकीलीक्स 2008 जुलाई में जिस समय न्यूक्लियर डील साइन की जा रही थी, कांग्रेस के एक लीडर स्टीवन वाइट को जाके कहते हैं हमारे पास इतना पैसा हमने रखा हुआ है। सर, मैंने इसमें का आज तक खंडन किया है।
एक बात
और सुनिए, एक करके आपने तो 36 सवाल पूछे। अभिषेक मिश्रा जी ने बोला नहीं है, 2 मिनट दे दीजिए। सीनियर पार्टनर है आपके अलायंस के, जो है या नहीं है एग्जिस्टेंशियल क्वेश्चन है, पर सीनियर पार्टनर है।
2 सेकंड, मैं बस एक जानना चाहता हूं सुधांशु जी आपसे, बड़ा हम्बली पूछ रहा हूं क्योंकि मैं भी हिंदुस्तानी हूं। विपक्ष में होना ये नहीं है कि हम हिंदुस्तानी नहीं है, हिंदुस्तान से हमको प्यार नहीं है। वो 4 आतंकवादी जो कि पहलगाम का अंजाम देख के यहां से चले गए, वो कब पकड़े जा रहे हैं, इसका जवाब दे दीजिए। और पुलवामा में जो अटैक हुआ था, उसका जो 400 किलो का आरडीएक्स हिंदुस्तान में आया था, वो आज तक क्यों नहीं खुलासा हो पाया, वो कहां से आया?
ओके, देखिए आपने जो कहा यही तो मैं कहना चाहता हूं। 4 आतंकवादियों के दद्दा बप्पा भैया सब तो निपटा दिए गए हैं,
मतलब
और आपने सुनिए, और वो भी पकड़े जाएंगे। अब आप जो बात कहने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, और रही बात इस पे, आप पुलवामा की बात करते थे तो वहां तो फवाद चौधरी एज मिनिस्टर ऑफ पाकिस्तान नेशनल असेंबली में बोल चुके हैं कि हमने पुलवामा तक घुस के मारा था। अब बताइए, उसके बाद उसी पुलवामा के समय में पाकिस्तान के नेशनल असेंबली को कोट कर रहा हूं, कोई हवा में नहीं, वहां का एमपी कहता है उस समय के फॉरेन मिनिस्टर को कोट करते हुए कि शाह महमूद कुरैशी साहब बैठे हुए थे, पाकिस्तान के आर्मी चीफ आए और उनके पांव कांप रहे थे। ये फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस पे मिनिस्टर का दिया गया बयान है, और उन्होंने कहा खुदा का वास्ता है अभिनंदन को वापस कर दो वरना इंडिया शाम तक अटैक कर देगा। बट अफसोस की बात यह है कि आज हमारे नेताओं के बयान, सर एक मिनट, अब मेरी भी बात का जवाब दे दीजिए। जो जम्मू कश्मीर, पूरी बात सुनिए, एक मिनट टर्न पे बोलिए, बेटर रहेगा। हमारे नेताओं के बयान पाकिस्तान में कोट किए जा रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान की मिलिट्री के कॉन्फ्रेंस में कोट किए जा रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान के भारत के विरुद्ध डोजियर में कोट किए जा रहे हैं, और उसके बाद चुनौती देके कहता हूं हम अपोजिशन में थे, हमारे किसी एक नेता का बयान कोट किया गया हो पाकिस्तान ने अपने फेवर में, तो बताइए।
अनकंडीशनल सपोर्ट अगर है तो टर्की पर माइक इधर से उधर बॉल की तरह क्यों जा रहा था?
30-40 मिनट सुनाओ मुझे, 30-40 सेकंड का अनइंटरप्टेड टाइम दे दो। पहले तो रंगनाथन जी आपके लिए, लेट मी कोट वाजपेयी जी, वी माइट डिफर इन आवर ओपिनियन,
आपके साथ ही बैठा हूं,
वी माइट डिफर इन आवर ओपिनियन बट वी आर टुगेदर इन आवर रिजॉल्व। वाजपेयी जी ने कहा था, मैं फुल्ली समर्थन करता हूं, दिस इज द सिचुएशन वेयर वी शुड बी टुगेदर, we should not be having a different opinion on Pakistan. Let's understand that, and we have given an unconditional support. Now Sudhanshu said that because of foresight of Modi ji, we went to Nawaz Sharif's daughter's wedding. Same foresight Vajpayee ji also had. He started training with Pakistan and we had a Kargil light after that. So did we not learn the lesson from the mistake first time and repeated the mistake again? Now when was the time was really time when we could have hit the Pakistan hard? आपने स्टार्ट किया था ना, भय बिन होए न प्रीत। मुझे क्या लगता है कि कहीं तो ट्रंप का भय है जिसके कारण हम मजबूर हैं पाकिस्तान से प्रीति करने के लिए, rather than hitting them hard at the time when we were having an upper end.
ये माइक पास, ये जब माइक पास हो रहा था तो एर्दोगान का आपको भय था क्या?
नहीं,
एर्दोगान का भय था क्या?
We are responsible citizens. We cannot take a stand on a foreign nation where government has not taken a stand. It is the government responsibility to tell whether the Turkey was an enemy state or not.
कौन सा नेता ज्यादा सक्षम है?
आप बताइए ना,
वो कहने में कौन सा नेता ज्यादा सक्षम है? और they had to do
government to stand to tell whether Turkey is an enemy state or not. Why that question is asked to Congress?
Anand Ranganathan, how hypocritical is this statement? After all, both of them old Congress people. Jairam Ramesh, at least I've been seeing him in the Congress since 1990 when I started reporting. 35 साल तो हो गए मुझे देखते हुए, अब वो इतनी सी बात नहीं कह पाए, पवन खेड़ा नहीं कह पाए, head of the media cell. What is he trying to impress upon us?
मैं बताता हूँ प्रॉब्लम कब आती है, जब फोक टंग होती है। अब इन्होंने कहा, जो मेरे साथ बैठे हुए हैं, कि अनकंडीशनल सपोर्ट दिया, और दिया जब हमारे एक्स एयर चीफ ने प्लीड किया हमारे तब प्राइम मिनिस्टर लेट मनमोहन सिंह को कि वी हैव टू बॉम्ब terror hideouts in Pakistan in the wake of 26/11 and he was forbidden to do so by the Prime Minister. किसका डर था?
आंसर
आनंद जी
इफ यू आर सपोर्टिंग गो ऑल आउट। मैं भी क्रिटिसाइज कर सकता हूं, मैं भी कर रहा हूं, मैंने किया। जिस दिन सीज़फायर हुई मैंने नाविका के शो पे कहा कि व्हाई डिड वी अग्री टू दिस, व्हाई वाज इट दैट वी अलाउड Trump to say or declare the ceasefire before we did? They are legitimate questions. But आप इसमें मत जाइए कि डर गए, ये गलत है। क्योंकि आप जब कह रहे हैं डर गए ना, आप क्या कह रहे हैं कि एक मिनट, I did not interrupt you. प्रॉब्लम ये है, आप सवाल पूछिए, सब पूछिए, लेकिन जैसे आप कहते हैं ना डर गए, एक तो पहली बात वो फैक्चुअली इनकरेक्ट है, दूसरी बात आप हमारे आर्म फोर्सेस पे लांछन लगा रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल नहीं।
क्यों? क्योंकि जब सीज फायर हुआ तो वो भी डर गए क्या?
बताइए। आप फैक्ट को ट्विस्ट कर रहे हैं रंगनाथ जी।
आपके सामने बोल रहा हूं।
आप इस चीज का जवाब दीजिए। आपने बोला हमने 11 उनके हाइड आउट्स उड़ा दिए। तो ऐसी कौन सी मजबूरी थी कि अब सारे पाकिस्तान में आतंकवादी मारे गए, सारे इस टेररिज्म इन डन पाकिस्तान? व्हाई डिड वी स्टॉप एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम? राइट आफ्टर कॉल फ्रॉम
ये गोलपोस्ट hands are going up. All right, I'm coming to each one of you. Sushant, Sareen first.
A couple of things. ये जो this question कि how come Trump has taken the credit? Now, is this a coincidence that we are going to announce a ceasefire at 5 o'clock and at 4:30 he says something?
Yeah.
Okay. The second is that the Prime Minister is going to address the nation, right? Just 20 minutes before that,
Again,
is this a coincidence?
No.
Right? So obviously the Americans get to know कि यार यहाँ पर ये announcement होने वाली है and that we are going to say that we were the Chaudharys in this whole thing. How do they become Chaudharys? Let me give you an example. There was a case of Raymond Davis, an American mercenary who killed 2 Pakistanis who were chasing him. The ISI chief was sitting in the courtroom telling the Americans in the White House on phone that this is what is happening. Real-time information given by the ISI chief sitting in the courtroom. Okay? This is how, when the first time, when these guys, when the DGMO was calling up the Indian side, they must have been telling the Americans, my baap, we are telling the Indians that we are going to stop firing. I think after Operation Sindhoor, what the government has managed to do is for the first time increase the cost of terrorism. Second, you mentioned, I think Mishra ji, आपने mention किया था 99, or I don't know, Vivek ji ने किया था, 99 Kargil, okay? Yes. What happened? What was Mr. Vajpayee's order? Fight, but don't cross, because there is this nuclear thing, right? 2001, Op Parakram takes place. We put our forces, don't go forward because nuclear threat. 2008, nuclear threat. Today, what we have done after 2016, 19, and now, most of all now, we will come to your house, we will hit you no matter where you are. We have attacked in Attak, Karachi, you name the damn place, we have hit it.
Islamabad,
right?
Lahore.
So once again, what is the message we are giving? We will come wherever you are, and we are not going to hold back. And your nuclear blackmail does not work on us anymore. Everybody has been saying, yes, the Pakistanis will try and attack. I personally, and I might be proven wrong, I don't think it is going to happen now. No. Because जो फेंटी लगी है ना अभी, because look, their air defenses have been destroyed, they've been hit wherever we wanted to hit them. They will be first trying to figure out a way how they can protect ourselves before they launch the next attack. Yes. So my own assessment is that it's not happening for some time now. Maybe 1 or 2 small things they might just try, just, you know, as a pinprick kind of a thing. But other than that, they have been so badly chastened by the attacks of the Indian side, and this was the basic intention.
All right. So, ये चित भी मेरी पट भी मेरी
मैं दोनों बातें बताता हूं। पहले मैं लाइटर नोट पे एक बात बोलता हूं। मैं कंडीशनल लाइटर नोट पे एक बात बोलता हूं, जो अभी सुशांत जी ने बहुत अच्छे ढंग से एक्सप्लेन की। तो जो मैं आपके प्रोग्राम में पहले ही बोल चुका हूं, 1990 के दशक की एक मूवी थी जिसमें शक्ति कपूर हर बात पे कहता था मेरे तन्ने चक्कू है, मेरे तन्ने चक्कू है, और आखिर में चक्कू होते हुए भी उसकी पिटाई हो जाती है। तो वैसे ही पाकिस्तान कहता था मेरे तन्ने न्यूक्लियर वेपन है, मेरे तन्ने न्यूक्लियर वेपन है, और पहली बार भारत ने वो क्षमता दिखाई एक न्यूक्लियर पावर्ड नेशन के अंदर जाकर उनके सारे एयर बेसेस को डिस्ट्रॉय करके दिखाया। अब यहां पर एक बात कहना चाहता हूं, अनकंडीशनल की बात मिश्रा जी ने कही, बहुत सही बात, पर कंडीशन बड़ी मजेदार है कि हिजबुल्लाह हमास के पक्ष में रैलियां निकलती हैं तो ये सुंदर सेकुलरिज्म का प्रतीक है, और तिरंगा यात्रा सेना के पक्ष में निकले तो राजनीति है।
सर
अब ये देश को समझना चाहिए।
आपसे पहले हमने यात्रा निकाली सर, आपसे पहले तिरंगा यात्रा हमने निकाली, आपसे पहले तिरंगा यात्रा हमने निकाली।
इसमें
सुधांशु जी नहीं, आपसे पहले तिरंगा यात्रा हमने निकाली, अभी निकाली, 6 दिन पहले निकाली, 7 दिन पहले निकाली। आपके नेता तिरंगा यात्रा में अपना पसीना पोंछ रहे हैं, जिस तिरंगे के लिए वहां पर सैनिक जान दे रहे हैं, और आपके नेता पसीना पोंछ रहे हैं और आप बोल रहे हैं का सम्मान
यात्रा निकाल रहे हैं, लेकिन आप तिरंगे के आगे झंडा फहराने खड़ा नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई बात नहीं, ये उनका पर्सनल मैटर है। हम कहते हैं हर व्यक्ति को खड़ा होना चाहिए, तिरंगे को सम्मान देना चाहिए, खैर वो बात अलग छोड़िए।
सुधांशु जी 52 साल
और डर की जहां तक बात है, मैं कहना चाहता हूं 1971 में हमने 93,000 प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर वापस किए, पीओके नहीं सेटल किया, छोड़िए, हाजीपीर छोड़ दिया, वो छोड़िए, ये 54 अपने वापस क्यों नहीं लिए? ये किसका खौफ था कि हमने 93,000 उनके छोड़े और 54 अपने वापस नहीं लिए? आज जरा इस खौफ का खुलासा कर दीजिए।
बिल्कुल, यही दिस इज द बिग क्वेश्चन, व्हाई डिड वी नॉट सेटल इट देन, व्हाई आर वी गोइंग टू सेटल इट नाउ? एंड द क्वेश्चन वी आर आस्किंग टुनाइट इज, सिंदूर सीजन 2, is it loading? When, where and why? Are we looking at POK to be settled in season 2? Today, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has said Pakistan is on probation. Picture abhi baki hai. The messaging is bold and unambiguous. This is not a ceasefire. It's a pause. If Pakistan crosses the red line of Sindhoor, it will be punished. But Pakistan is a repeat offender. Since 2016 surgical strikes, and then it was the Balakot air strikes that were done. What next after Operation Sindoor season 1? The blueprint of the strike is with us. Where do we go next? And I want to ask you, Major Gaurav Arya.
Yes.
Major Gaurav Arya, the question tonight is simply this. Those who always stood for peace, talks with Pakistan, what was the India alliance all about? Farooq Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti, aren't they part of the India alliance talking to Pakistan? Today they are saying, मिसाइल क्यों नहीं मारी, मिसाइल क्यों नहीं मारी? ये खरबूजे को देखकर खरबूजा रंग क्यों बदल रहा है?
देखिए, इनके साथ
ये तो मुमकिन है।
हाँ, इनके साथ एक बहुत बड़ी
महबूबा मुफ्ती के साथ सरकार आप ही ने बनाई थी सुधांशु जी,
सर
हमने तो बनाई नहीं।
एक मिनट
रंग अब बदला है ना।
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि ये जो अक्सर कहते हैं ना कि क्यों सीज फायर कर दिया, क्यों सीज फायर कर दिया, आगे देखिए, हर एक ऑपरेशन का एक एम होता है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर का एम क्या था? या फौज ने बोला कि हाँ सर, ये आप क्या चाहते हैं, तो इसमें प्राइम मिनिस्टर बताएंगे कि वो क्या चाहते हैं। और अगर वो चाहते हैं कि जिन लोगों ने पहलगाम करा उन लोगों के दांत तोड़ो, उनके आकाओं के दांत तोड़ो, और उनको ऐसा मैसेज याद सिखाओ जो कि वो सालों दर सालों याद रखेंगे, तो आई थिंक ऑपरेशन सिंदूर है सक्सीडेड इन ऑल दीज काउंट्स। अच्छा, जो लोग ये कहते हैं कि अभी सीज फायर क्यों करा, तो मैं उनसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं, फिर कब तक आप चाहते हैं? आपका एम देखिए, बिना एम के आप गाड़ी निकालते हैं घर से कहीं ना कहीं जाने के लिए, राइट? आप ये नहीं कह सकते घुमाते रहो गाड़ी, कल तक परसों तक घुमाते रहो 3 दिन। The aim is that, yes, please ask me, sir. One by one, I'll take your questions, please.
So, I am okay for the objective when Operation Sindoor was done. But when Pakistan retaliated,
yes,
that was not part of initial Operation Sindoor's objective. When Pakistan retaliated, we rebutted, right? We gave a reply.
Yes.
That time was the time when it was a situation of war. That was the time when we should have hit hard. And why we stopped?
And didn't we? इससे hard क्या होता है?
I'll tell you. एक मिनट,
liberated Bangladesh in 1970.
मिश्रा जी,
और आप
1 minute, everybody wants to come in.
मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूं।
नविका जी, just small 10 seconds.
नहीं, अभी आपने बोल लिया, पहले आपकी इस बात का रिस्पॉन्स हो जाए।
मैं एक बात बताता हूं कि यहाँ पे डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन कहाँ आ रहा है। यू आर टॉकिंग पॉलिटिक्स, आई एम टॉकिंग मिलिट्री, हम दोनों अलग अलग चीजों के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल,
मैं आपकी बात शायद समझ नहीं पा रहा हूं, ये मैं मानता हूं कि आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ टेक्निकल मिलिट्री मैटर विच हैज गॉट नथिंग टू डू विद पॉलिटिक्स। कांग्रेस बीजेपी का कोई लेना देना नहीं उस चीज से, मैं अलग तरीके की बात कर रहा हूं। देखिए, जो सुशांत ने बताया ना, दैट इज एक्चुअली द करेक्ट आंसर। जो एस्केलेशन डोमिनेंस है पाकिस्तान ने करा, आपने उनके मिलिट्री बेसिस तबाह कर दिया, नेक्स्ट व्हाट, राइट? अब लोग कहते हैं पीओके ले लो, ये ले लो, हाँ ठीक है। सो इन एनी वॉर देयर इज एम प्लस। आपका एम क्या है, आपका एम प्लस क्या है? लेट्स बी वेरी वेरी कैटेगोरिकल एंड क्लियर, राइट? अब ये बिकॉज ऑफ अ डिबेट इन अ स्टूडियो और बिकॉज ऑफ पॉलिटिकल सरगर्मी, यू कांट एंडलेसली हैव वॉर। यू हैव हिट देम हार्डर देन, एंड दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम a nuclear country to a nuclear country conflict has taken place. And in the context of India and Pakistan, where we have fought 4 wars, by the way, and have seen endless terrorism in Kashmir and Punjab and other places in India, I think this was from a purely military perspective. Mujhe politics nahi aati hai. From a purely military perspective, I think this was 24 carat.
Absolutely. Abhijit, Ayer, Mitra. You know, these Aman ke Asha type of people now are saying missile kahan chali gayi thi, were we falling short of missile? Where do they want? Matlab, whatever Modi does or whatever decision is taken is wrong. They are right. They stand unconditionally, but every time they will come up with criticism and conditions. What kind of logic is this?
This is a very calculated game they play, unfortunately. You see, they've got people within them. You look at all these people trending de-escalate on the 9th and the 10th. They are all in that camp. Who introduced Ms. Arfa Khanum Sherwani into Rajya Sabha TV? Who was tweeting about Mr. Pratik Sinha's partner at Alt News when he was in jail? Rahul Gandhi himself. These were the same people that were tweeting de-escalate. Are you willing to disassociate yourself from them publicly today, sir? It's a simple yes or no. Are you willing to disassociate yourself?
Who captured Lahore?
Are you? No. Listen, okay, now let's come to Lahore. First of all, you were on the cusp of capturing Lahore. You did not. You stopped. Why did you stop? You shouldn't have stopped then, no? Then you shouldn't have stopped. You should have gone right in. You should have gone all the way to Islamabad. Why did you stop? You had 93,000 troops. You had 1/3 of the Pakistan army in jail. But you stopped. One second, sir. I haven't finished. One second. I haven't finished. I haven't finished.
We cannot merge it with India.
Now, remember, in 1971, Navika, when there were no nuclear weapons at play, they had 1/3 of the Pakistan army in captured by Indian troops. They say we surrounded Lahore, but we didn't capture it. You were ready to go to Islamabad, but you didn't capture it. Why? यही लोग हमको बोल रहे हैं, now understand there are nuclear dynamics at play. You don't, it isn't कि तुमने मेरे को थप्पड़ मारा, I take out a hammer and smash your head. That is not the way things work. Sir, I didn't interrupt while you were talking. You please don't interrupt.
No, but you are contradicting your own statement.
No, I am not. You can't do that. You have to go, now that nuclear weapons are in play, escalation dominance is a very carefully choreographed ballet. You can't just go bada boom for everything, right? So, when they hit you back, what do? You take out their air bases. You're very careful not to take down their planes or any high value assets in public. You take down their air bases, you ground them. It is almost as good because then you're showing, listen, you go any further, they can't take off. They're sitting ducks out there. I can take them out when they want. Okay? That is the whole point of escalation dominance. It isn't escalation elimination, it is dominance. Understand?
Absolutely. And the world has changed around us. But Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, in the end, I only want to ask you this. Season 2 loading, POK next, what are going to be the variables of the next blueprint whenever that happens? Because we are on a pause right now, number one. And number two, they say, आप न्यूक्लियर स्ट्राइक कर सकते हैं लेकिन न्यूक्लियर से डर रहे हैं. इस तरह की आपने बोला अभी बोला
This is not what I said. मैं इधर आ रहा हूँ. This is not what I said. What I said is Navika जी मैंने बोला सवाल हो गया.
1 minute.
This is exactly what you are.
1 minute. Gentlemen, there is a complication that is going on. There is a study that has come out that in the last 7 months, there have been 30,583 lies of Donald Trump that have been busted. Congress Party and the India Alliance competing with that target. But Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi...
One thing which every wise citizen of India should understand, that we started our talk with Pakistan is a mask of face. Pakistan may be just a stooge of a very major power of the world, which wants to get India engaged perpetually in the war so that our economic progress can be hampered. Their possibility cannot be ruled out. But look at what we have achieved in this war. Number one, first time in the entire history when there is an India-Pakistan conflict, there is no resolution of Organization of Islamic countries against India. They choose to keep mum. The two stalwarts of the Muslim world, Saudi Arab, which symbolizes the Sunni Muslim world, and Iran, which leads the Shia Muslim world, both have criticized the terror and not spoken any word in favor of Pakistan. No resolution in UN Security Council, I would like to remind, in 71, or Nation of Islamic Countries resolution against India. Iran was ready to send force in favor of Pakistan, which was mediated by, that is a altogether different story. Several resolutions in UN Security Council, and I would like to note, sir, 7 December 1971,
people
more than
voted for
100 countries
Pakistan's
voted against India, and Soviet Rus vetoed it. And Soviet Rus has to come in our rescue for more than half a dozen times. And then, आप वो भी याद करिए, बांग्लादेश
पाकिस्तान की आपने क्यों नहीं रुक पाया, बताइए ना, इतनी अच्छी हमारी
well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a debate. This is a debate.
हमने राफेल खरीदे, वो भी हमारे
क्या रोल था?
पाकिस्तान की
OIC ने कोई रेजोल्यूशन पास नहीं किया, मगर जब पूछा गया कि तुर्की के खिलाफ वो कर दो, तो पहले आप अरे कौन है वोट बैंक है बाप, इसलिए पहले आप बोलने की हिम्मत नहीं करते।
This debate can go on forever. Ashwini ji, Vivek Silas, 1 minute. There is no if, there is no but. India has the victory. Our defense forces have kept our head held high in the world, and Prime Minister Modi has taken the call because war and perpetual war benefits nobody, not us, not the citizens of India, not anybody in the world. What our objective is to teach Pakistan a lesson has been achieved. Trailer tha, picture baki hai. But the other big objective, which is bigger than even taming Pakistan, is to be at the economy high table. The number 3 economy of the world that we have our eyes on. In this world, people only listen to those who are economically well endowed and have that calling power. And that is why India will not be interrupted in this march to being a strong nation. The opposition, well, their criticism can go on. It is their right. But clearly, you know that it doesn't have any basis. We leave it at that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you to my panelists for joining me on the Newshour Spotlight tonight.